Jaya Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yasodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Radha Vallabha Sri Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Prahlad Narsimhadev Prahlad Narsimhadev Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol, Nitya Gaur Hari Bol. Sri Sri Gaurita ki, Sri Sri Radha Bhagwan ki, Sri 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 Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mani ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitya Gaur Premanande. So Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7. The chapter number is 10 and the verse number 43 and 44. They are together. So therefore we are reading this one. So on the board only 43 is written, but the translation is complete, both 43 and 44. Actually, so this verse is emphasizing, how Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is Amala Purana. So transcendental, the pure, transformative, and of course, when you hear Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, you get liberated. So particularly hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam means hearing glories of Lord Krishna and his devotees and their pastimes. And this verse simply summarizes the entire, almost the Canto 7. It's summarizing Canto 7. This is a summary given by Narada Muni on highlighting the qualities of Prahlad and highlighting his teaching, then how this narration liberates one. Okay? So moving forward. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we will read this verse number 43. First we do word by word and then we read the full. Vraja-ra Dasa Anucharitam Mahabhagavatasya Cha Bhaktihi Jnanam Vairāktis cha yatartham cha asya vai hareha. Okay. So next continues to verse 44. Let's read verse 43 full. Prahaladasya anucharitam Mahabhagavatasya cha Bhakti Jnanam Vairāktischa Yatartam cha sha vai Hare. Yatartam cha sha vai Hare. Prahaladasya anucharitam Mahabhagavatasya cha Bhakti Jnanam Vairāktischa cha Yatartam cha vai Hareha. Prahaladasya anucharitam Mahabhagavatasya cha Bhakti Jnanam Vairāktischa Yathartam chasya vai Hareha. Praladasya anucharitam. Dasa anucharitam. Mahabhagavatasya cha. Yathartam chasya vai Hare. Padasya anucharitam. Mahabhagavatasya cha. Dasyanucharitam Mahabhagavatasya cha. Bhakti Jnanam Vairaktischa. Yathartam chasya vai Hareha. Praladasya anucharitam. Mahabhagavatasya cha. Bhaktim Jnanam Viraktisya. Yathartam chasya vai Hareha. Translation word by word. Prahaladasya of Prahlad Maharaj. Anucharitam characteristics understood by reading or describing his activities. Mahabhagavatasya of the great and exalted devotee. Cha also. Bhaktihi devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jnanam complete knowledge of the transcendence. Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Vairaktiha renunciation of material existence. Cha also. Yathartham just to understand each of them perfectly. Cha and asya of this. Why? Indeed. Hareha always in reference to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is verse 2 translation of verse number 43. So we have 44 also. So we will just do the 43 only. Okay, translation of both verses. This narration describes the characteristics of great and exalted devotee Prahlad Maharaj, his staunch devotional service, his perfect knowledge, and his perfect detachment from material contamination. It also describes the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Prahlad Maharaj, in his prayers, has described the transcendental qualities of the Lord and has also described how the various abodes of the demigods and demons, regardless of how materially opulent, are destroyed by the mere direction of the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is filled with description of the characteristics of various devotees with reference to the service of the Lord. So this Vedic literature is called Bhagavatam because it deals with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His devotee. By studying Śrīmad Bhāgavatam under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, one can perfectly understand the science of Krishna, the nature of material and spiritual worlds, and the aim of life. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Amala Puranam. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is spotless Vedic literature, as we have discussed in the beginning of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Therefore, simply by understanding Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, one can understand the science of the activities of devotees, the activities of demons, the permanent abode and the temporary abode. Through Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, everything is perfectly known. Om Ajnana Trimindasya Jnananja Salakaya Chaksurulimitam Ena Tasme Sri Guruve Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapadaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamini Namaste Saraswadevi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachata Desha Tarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivanda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7. Prabhupada titled it as a Science of God. So, if you want to understand the real nature, real qualities of Supreme Lord, so Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, this Canto 7 is the one to really read. And if you take full view of this Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, this Canto 7, the first chapter started with how Supreme Lord is equal to everyone. So in that context, Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami Sri Krishna is definitely kind, but during Rajasya Yajna, so when Pandavas want to establish their supremacy over the earthly planet, so you established by conducting Rajasya Yajna, and all the other kingdoms will accept you as a supreme king. So there, of course, they have to offer respect, choose the best personality among those who are present there. So there, all the transcendental personalities have chosen Sri Krishna. But obviously, there are a few parties didn't agree. This is always natural. So whenever you go to democracy, even if 99.9% agree, there is always one person who will object. That's very common. But anyway, so there were some personalities such as Shishupal, they objected. So not only objected, so as offering and also worship of Lord Krishna was proceeding, and the Shishupal stood up and constantly blaspheming Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna tolerated. Then finally it come to a point, this is like this. You take a rubber band, you keep pull, rubber band will tolerate. But when the elasticity property last comes, it will break. So Krishna has actually given benediction that he will tolerate a certain number of blaspheming and mistakes that Shishupal makes. That was the promise he made. Anyway, so he exhausted all those that Shishupal, so much blasphemy he did. Then finally Sri Krishna has, asked his chakra to do the work. So chakra cut off his head. Then the moment head is cut off, the Shishupal has merged into Lord Sri Krishna. So this has actually surprised everyone, that such even enemy can get a liberation. So that is when this was witnessed by Yudhishthira Maharaj himself. He has seen this. So he asked, Narada Muni. So usually the Munis, perform thousands of years of tapas just to get this liberation. Whereas this Sisupala simply by blaspheming got the same thing. So he wanted to know more about it. So this is how the whole, the rest of the, the chapters, are describing about who was Hiranyakashipu. Started with saying that they were actually servants of Lord Narayana in the Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijaya. Then, of course, that's a big story. Then anyway, they were cursed. Then Hare is cursed to become a demon on this material world 3 times in their life. So first they became Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So very nicely described. Then of course Lord has to appear to kill them. So because they were creating so much of havoc, troubling devotees so much that it became intolerable. So Lord Krishna says, Paritranaya sadhuna vinasya duskurchya. So to protect the devotees. And of course to annihilate these troublemakers. And of course to establish the dharma so that we all can follow our eternal religion. By doing so, we can purify our heart, we can purify our mind, purify our thoughts. Then at the end of this life, we will become eligible to go back to real home, the Vaikuntha Loka. So spiritual world. Depending upon our our consciousness and our focus on different incarnations of Supreme Lord. So we go to different abodes. So that is what happened then in the family of that Hiranyakashipu. So he has son Prahlad. Prahlad was born as son of Hiranyakashipu. Often devotees ask, how come a great devotee, exalted devotee, Mahabhagavat appears in the family of a demon? So that depends upon the consciousness of father at the type of conception. And there is of course story about how, when Hiranyakashipu first time went to do tapas in Kailas. So there he started doing tapas. All the devatas worried about this. Some demons start doing tapas so severely. So there is a concern that, so they are trying to get more power than what they already have. Then when they get power, what do? They will take over all the heavenly planets. They will displace Indra. Indra will become jobless. Moon god also become jobless. It's all a concern. So it is very natural for all of us to also protest. So then they asked Brahma. Brahma also worried. So Brahma was thinking what to do. Meanwhile, Narada came. Narada, of course, son of Lord Brahma, and he saw his father was worried. So when father is, let us say, very happily chanting Vedic mantras, but that day he was very worried. Yes, father, what is the matter? So then Brahma says, this is what is happening. He says, don't worry, we will take care of it. So then Narada Muni, along with Parvata Muni, so they together became a bird and went and sat on a tree near where this Hiranyakashipu was performing tapas. And they start saying, Om Namo Narayana Namaha, Om Namo Narayana Namaha. Like this, they start chanting, these birds. Then this person came and hearing. Hiranyakashipu, don't want to hear Lord Narayana name. He doesn't want to hear Vishnu name. He considers them as enemies. So they keep chanting, then he got disturbed. Then he tried to kill them, but they already flew away. So he thought, okay, now that I come here, looks like tapas bhang happened, let me go home. So he went back to his palace. Then of course his wife got surprised, and then finally anyway they had this, in that mood. So he conceived this Prahlad. That is how he ended up having a devotee. So this is what we call Garbha Samskara. So that means our consciousness can play a so important role in everything that we do. So usually we say, please take prasada. Means here prasada is something made by a devotee. So always thinking about Supreme Lord with that consciousness making. Therefore this prasada is a purified, very powerful. This bhoga that is prepared offered to Lord, then it becomes furthermore prasada. When you eat it, so you also become pure. So there's a power. So consciousness, important. So if you associate with people who are demonic mentality, we also become demon. If you associate with people who like Mahatma, you also become Mahatma. Huh? Right? So if you associate with another pure devotee, you also become pure devotee. So this is quality, is association. So association, we also say, Jaisa Sang, Vaisa Rang. Sangha, association. Jaisa Rang. Our activities will be just like what we associate. Something like we say, Yatha Raja Tata Praja. Correct? So like this, association is very powerful. And this Śrīmad Bhāgavatam narration is all about that. So as we go along, last few months, we heard about various chapters about Hiranyakashipu, how he gained the power. Then we discussed about Prahlad Maharaj's best qualities. And this chapter is about the best among all the exalted devotees. There are many exalted devotees, and best among them is Prahlad Maharaj. Who said this? Lord Narasimhadev said, and also his Guru Narada Muni also said. So Narada Muni is also one of the 12 Mahajanas. If you want to learn in the Vedic literature, the best personalities, 12 personalities, from whom you can take instruction. So Brahma, Shambhu, like this, many. Sukadeva Goswami, of course, he is the one who is instructing to Parikshit Maharaj. Then Prahlad Maharaj is one of them. Even among all the devotees, Lord Narasimhadev recognizes him as exalted devotee. And of course, there is, even in this today's word that we see, he also talks about Prahladasya Anucharitam. Anucharitam. Charita means history, activities, characteristics, qualities of Prahlad. So this Prahlad Anucharitam. And this Prahlad is obviously Mahabhagavat. So like a person, Lord Krishna is also Bhagavan. And of course, devotee is also like a Bhagavan only. So in certain cases. So this Mahabhagavat, Prahlad, Charitam, when you hear, is very, liberating. Why? Those qualities also says, Bhaktir. So this Prahlad exhibits highest devotional service unto Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhaktir. So this staunch devotional service. Staunch means complete loyal, 100%, whatever may be the situation. Sometimes people say, loyalty can be tested. Correct? So if you offer them a bribe, they are loyal to the country, to others will also be shaken. Whereas here, for Prahlad, that can't be shaken. See, his father was king of the entire universe. And lower planetary, middle planetary, so he is a king. If you have a fight with the father or not listen to father instruction, obviously father might say that, so this property you are not going to inherit. I will donate it to Hare Krishna temple. Correct? So if your sons or daughters are not turning out to be devotees, then you might say, I work so hard, my only life and soul is Radha Vallabha. What do? I need to now write a will. Let me write it to the temple, let's say. But in this case, that's what, of course, every father, whether the demon or devatas or any person, they all want their son to or daughter to inherit. But whereas here, his son is not accepting Hiranyakashipu as a supreme person. So he is constantly chanting, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So constantly chanting glory of Vishnu. Whereas Hiranyakashipu considering Vishnu as his enemy. If you consider someone as enemy, and then people come and start praising the other person, you also get irritated. We also get irritated. So that happened to him. But irritation for the Hiranyakashipu was so much that he has attempted to torture his 5-year son, thinking that maybe he will give up. Correct? So you do something, then parents start torture you, say, okay, maybe let me give up. He didn't give up. Then finally he decided to kill him. He says, I will chop off your head. You are not fit for our dynasty. Correct? We don't want you to inherit our universe, our kingdom. So I want to chop off your head. So that is when Narasimhadev appeared and saved him, saved Prahlad Maharaj. But in spite of all these troubles he has undergone from his own father, Why? Because he has become Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada also says, sometime when you become a Krishna consciousness, not only your father may become enemy, your mother also can become enemy. Because you are not listening to her, not willing to marry a boy that she is suggesting or a girl she is suggesting. They are worried, this going to this kind of path and what will happen to us? What will happen to her? Not listening. Then of course, many also will become enemies also. So Prabhupada gives half an example. When Krishna consciousness movement, Hare Krishna movement started ISKCON in New York. So after a few years, many people took them to court. Why? Their sons and daughters who were hippies. The hippies, what is the hippies lifestyle? So their lifestyle is taking drug, illicit sex, eating, intoxication, gambling, using all the wealth of the parents, wasting it. But they have no objection, no problem. But when they start associated with Srila Prabhupada, obviously association. See, here we have got a Mahabhagavat, Prabhupada. And then you associate with Prabhupada. Prabhupada is not going to get your quality, but he will transfer his quality to you. He is like a magnet. Magnet is there, we take iron and magnet are together. Over a period of time, this iron become a magnet. Same thing happened to all these young boys who were something like 18 to 25. On average, maybe 22 only. All the disciples, hundreds of thousands of disciples, are young boys. And these were all hippies. And now they become happies. They are so happy. Somehow these parents thought that maybe something happened here, brainwashed. Like these people suddenly like this. Then they took them to court and then sent them police to capture them. Lot of trouble. So much of court cases. Prabhupada saying that if you become Krishna consciousness, and you will also attract some enemies too. Correct? So therefore he is saying that this Prahlad is a Mahabhagavat. He is a strong devotional service. And Prabhupada says he is our Guru. So Prabhupada considers Prahlad Maharaj as his role model. So he is saying that we also should be ready to tolerate. As you progress towards Krishna consciousness and you are spreading the teachings of Supreme Lord, you want everyone to purify, you want everyone to come back home. But unfortunately, some people have demonic qualities, they will oppose it. They will say, why are you doing kirtan here? They will say, why are you distributing these books? Why are you dancing here like a madman? And of course, we say, the goal of life is to become mad after Krishna. So in the purport, Prabhupada says, the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam will also help you to understand the goal of life. Correct? So he says, aim of life. So Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, one can, by understanding Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, one can understand the science of Krishna and the nature of material and spiritual world. This is very important. So we have spiritual world, we have material world. What is the nature of these worlds? We say Vaikunta. Vaikunta means place of no anxiety. That means it is complete, no anxiety. You are in a blissful state. Just like Lord Narayana, Sat Chit Ananda. So that place is eternally blissful. That is the Vaikunta Loka, spiritual world. Now you come to this material world, is eternally Kunta. Anxiety, one after other. Correct? Sometimes you feel like little no anxiety, feel happy, blissful. When kirtan is happening, we just concentrate ourselves. Somehow we forget all our troubles. But now the moment it finishes, the moment we sit down in class, so all the issues start coming into our mind. Start playing, like a tape record. Keep playing. So creating anxiety. Physically we are here, mentally somewhere else and in anxiety. Correct? Full of anxiety. Why is it? The creator of this world himself is certifying that this is Dukkhalaya and Ashasvata. Whereas that is Sukhalaya and Shasvata. Vaikuntha Loka is Sukhalaya, blissful and also eternal. Whereas the material world is Dukkhalaya and Ashasvata. It is temporary. Correct? So although we want permanent residency, so how long this permanent residency? Only for this life. What about next life? Suppose if a person didn't lead a very good quality, exalted quality, the person may end up being born in a hellish planet, or maybe born in some difficult country in this earth itself. Correct? So then again you want to come back to Australia, so difficult. Correct? Unless you have a PhD degree and high degree, you won't be able to come here. If you try to take a boat and come, Australians will catch and put you into detention center forever. Correct? So you hear newspaper all the time that they released the people, the High Court said, oh, you can't detain people forever. Release them. Then of course the moment they release, the problem will also start. There are good people, there are demonic quality people, all kinds of people there, they will start getting problem also. So we hear all this in newspaper every day. Correct? So this is a place like that. Temporary and dukkhalaya. So this is the certification given by the creator of this world. Right? But we will think, no. We have some happiness. Okay, no problem. That is the creator says. But we want to advance ourselves so that it will become happy place. You can do a little bit, certain extent, by being a good person. Then start hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. You also start getting purified. Then you become tolerant like Prahlad Maharaj. When you become tolerant like Prahlad Maharaj, even in Australia, even on this other planet, obviously the troubles become insignificant. Correct? When you are in a mountain of joy, if somebody takes one small atom or a small piece of a gold from you, you say, don't worry. Correct? Let's say you are a billionaire. You lose 1 cent. Does it hurt you? That depends. If you are overly attached to everything, even if you lose 1 cent, you will cry about 1 cent forever. You don't look at this other billions you got. But if you are a detached person, it doesn't matter. Correct? You will say, look, you will say detached and your transcendental qualities, then you will say, this all belong to Supreme Lord. Where this 1 cent has gone, it is still somewhere on earth only. Correct? And then I am not really owner of this earth. I am the temporary owner of small place. Correct? So you know, so Sarvaloka Maheshwari is Supreme Lord. And then I am the temporary person here. So therefore, wholly not attached. So those people will be happy. And such people are Sitostana Sukha Dukkhada. Whether you praise them, they are Sthita, in their own place. You blaspheme them, they are still happy. So they are Sthita Prajnas. It doesn't disturb them. Whether you praise them or you blaspheme them. Correct? Whether they are subjected to troubles of this material world or happy. They are equiposed. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, equiposed. They are equiposed. Why they equiposed? They know their position. They know who they are. They also know all this world nature. If you know that, then you don't expect too much. Correct? The expectation. So you will be just happy with just connecting with the Supreme Lord. So these qualities Mahabhagavat gets. And this is why Prahlad is considered a Mahabhagavat Prahlad, exalted devotee, stand devil service, and he is perfect in knowledge. So what is the perfect in knowledge? So Jnanir. So here Bhaktir, stand devil service. Then Jnanam. What is the Jnanam? So Jnana of material world, Jnana of spiritual world, Jnana of transcendental qualities. So in this case, that Prahlad is the perfect Jnana. What is the perfect Jnana? Here Prahlad translates complete knowledge of the transcendence. That is Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Absolute truth. So he has a complete knowledge of this transcendence. That is Brahman, then Paramatma and Bhagavan. So you can realize Supreme Lord in 3 forms, 3 ways. In the beginning, all pervading Brahman is everywhere. Because of him, we see the light, we see the earth is still in the stable position. Correct? All those who are in astronomy, if you go to some theater, they will show you, big universe inside, so billions and billions of planets, and these planets are simply floating. And seems still they are stable. I am sitting here, stable. Even if there is a small shake of this building a small part, we get frightened, run away. But whereas the whole planet is in the right place. And how is it possible? What is the energy? Omnipotent, all-pervading. That energy is Brahman. So this is the first level of realization of absolute truth. And that knowledge this Prahlad has. Jnanam. Next, as you gain this knowledge, when the knowledge matures, that time you start thinking, okay, the Brahma, this Supreme Lord is also in me. Let me start meditating. So that is where you meditate on, become a yogi. So you start to realizing Paramatma. Then when that matures, you see, okay, Paramatma is in me, Paramatma is in every other living entity. Correct? So that is when you become Samadarsiniya. Samadarsini. Correct? Otherwise we start discriminating. Oh, this fellow is different, that fellow is different, he is black, he is Indian, he is African, this is ant, this is snake, this is frog, this is donkey, this is dog, low quality. Like this we start discriminating. Then we develop aversion. But one who realizes Paramatma within himself, then start realizing Paramatma that he is there in all the living entities. So this is when the person becomes Samadarshaniya. He becomes Pandita. Pandita Samadarshaniya, not just Pandita. See, lots of people have knowledge, but they don't know how to put the knowledge into practice. Correct? So those who are able to put into practice, they become billionaire. Those who are not able to put in practice, they remain poor condition. So knowledge is there, knowledge in the book. Correct? This book is there, this knowledge, the books are in the corner. Correct? How many of us know? Correct? We know that the book is the corner. But we have to pick up, read, not only read knowledge, then it should become a science. Then realize knowledge. Correct? So the realized knowledge is what is important. So that realized knowledge is Paramatma. That is Paramatma so. And of course, Bhagavan himself. Brahmeti, Parameti, Bhagavaneti. Brahmeti is Brahman, Parameti is Paramatma, Bhagavaneti is Supreme Bhagavan, Supreme Person of Godhead. So he knows all three perfectly. If you don't know perfectly, this is where problem comes. That's why I say impersonally we say, I am God, you are God, then create a confusion. But those who mature in that knowledge, so then it becomes truly bhakti. Otherwise, it is like a useless broken glass. A jnana without maturity and turning into bhakti, it is simply a broken piece of glass. What is the use? If you hold it, it will only cut you. Correct? If the mirror is broken, you hold it tightly, what will happen? The person is holding will get hurt. Same thing, this jnana which is not mature, immature jnana, and so to immature understanding, that only actually creates a more problem than anything. So the maturity is important. That is why here, this is the statement of Narada Muni. He says, this Prahlad is perfect in bhakti, staunch devotional service, and jnanam. So all those three. So that is, he perfected. So next is that last word. Yathartam chasya vai Hare. So this yathartam. So, and to understand perfectly is also important to understand perfectly. So perfectly understand what? Hareha. Hareha, that is, you understand all of this perfectly in the context of Supreme Person of Godhead. That Hareha, Hari is Supreme Person of Godhead, but Hareha means in the context of. Correct? So you understand many things. You understand this energy. This is sound energy. You understand light as energy. You understand waves energy. You understand water energy. Correct? And drink also. But in the context of Supreme Person of Godhead, that this water is a prasada coming from Radha Vallabha's step. So then you drink it. So you are recognizing that who is the source of this water. And water is the energy also. Correct? So all in the context of Supreme Person of Godhead. So that is why Prahlad Maharaj was happy. So he knows, Bhoktaram Ignata Pasyam Sarva Loka Bhayeswaram Suodram Sarva Bhutanam Gnanatam Shantim Richit. He has clear understanding. He knows that Bhoktaram Ignatavsam, Supreme Lord is the beneficiary of all our activities. So therefore, whatever I perform, so whether they are successful or failed, whether they result 100% what I am expecting, or 10%, or 0%, or 60%, happy. Correct? So this result is Krishna's. So therefore, he is not attached to it. If the result doesn't come as per his expectation, still Sitapagnya. So people are unhappy because they are expecting that they want to invest $1, it will come to 1 million, but unfortunately $1 also gone. Sometimes it becomes negative also. If you invest into some building, so you became a owner, 1% owner. You invested, say, $100. Then later it become minus 50. Then who is going to pay minus 50? They will say, you have to pay because you are a owner. Because that building collapsed into somebody else and they are suing you. Correct? So you also become not only positive return, at least no return, but it will also become negative. So this is the nature. But one who understands that Bhoktara with the Eknasapasam, Sarvalokamayasam, having this jnana, and Sudram, that is well-wisher of everybody, he is Supreme Lord. Such a person with that knowledge, he becomes peaceful. This is also called as peace formula. So that is why Prahlad Maharaj was peaceful in spite of all the troubles he has undergone from his father. In the previous chapter, we have looked at, already Narada Muni explained the situation so well. Correct? Undergoing, throwing into the fire. The Holika, sister of Hiranyakashipu, she said, look, I have got a benediction from Brahma that I have this shirt. Even if this dhoti, this is coming from benediction of Brahma, then if I sit in fire, nothing will happen. Said, brother, don't worry, I know how to kill your son. Because Hiranyakashipu tried so many ways. Thrown into snake pit, thrown from a big mountain, and made big elephants to walk over him, hathis. Nothing happened to him. So what to do? Maybe the sister will say, don't worry, I will take care of him. She took him and put him on the lap like this. Say like this, Prahlad is sitting, just like here, Prahlad is sitting here. Then she sat in fire. What happened? Now, what the chadar she was wearing, Krishna has, blown that chadar onto this Prahlad. Then the fire has actually burnt that Holika, finished Holika, gone. Correct? So this is all of this actually bewildered Hiranyakashipu. So he did so many, finally he thought he himself can kill it. Correct? Normally kings, what do? If they want to fight, they don't go to the fighting. The leaders, you go, you see here wars, correct? You see, we had Ukraine war and Russia. Is President of Russia and President of Ukraine are fighting each other at the same? No. They are sitting in 5-star room, complete air condition. They are only giving command to army. You guys go and fire. You guys go and fire. That's happening everywhere. Correct? So they are happily there. So, but here, that didn't work. Hiranyakashipu decided that, okay, I am the most powerful person in this universe. Let me finish this boy. Of course, that also didn't work. That is when Lord has come to protect the devotee. Yeah. So that means if the Lord himself is coming to protect you, when does Lord comes? Lord only comes to protect you when you have a staunch devotion on the Lord. Say, sometimes we may be devotee. Do we trust Krishna 100%? May not be, correct? So there are other, Prabhupada is saying, in the first statement only, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is filled with descriptions of characteristics of various devotees. Other devotees who have also undergone problem like this, for example, Jada Bharat. Jada Bharat was captured by these dacoits because they want to sacrifice one human to Mother Kali. They thought, if we sacrifice this human, then we become more powerful. That's what all these people. People simply want to gain power by sacrificing others. So they captured this Jada Bharat. So Jada Bharat captured, then they gave him a very nice bath with special soap and shampoo, various things, I don't know what all they use. Sometimes hammam, liril, so many kind of things. They give him nice bath because he didn't care about his body. Because they want to present it to Mother Kali. It should be very nice. Scented him. Then finally took in front of Mother Kali. Then they put this head cutter. Then they made him to put his head on this. This Jada Bharata didn't even protest. Imagine, see, you are captured. You say, I am captured. And they try to put, at least I try to protect the Pursa or somehow try to escape, try to derive means. But whereas this Jada Bharata has so much of staunch devotion and Supreme Lord protection. Not only protection, so whatever is the will of God. So he says, Paramatma is in heart of all these dacoits. Paramatma is in me. If Paramatma desires that I be killed, sacrificed, so be it. So he has so much of faith, absolute faith on absolute truth. See, our faith is relative. Even though we have so many, all this, but we still have a faith that we should have insurance for the house, we should have insurance for our health, we should have insurance for our car, we should have education insurance, we should have wealth insurance, we should have gold insurance. Like this, all kinds of insurance we take. Correct? Not only house insurance, but also the content insurance. What is the content in house? Some chair, this, that. Some people may have gold. Correct? So they take insurance on the content. So we have a gold in house. So if we already just saw yesterday the posting on the Hare Krishna English group saying about somebody break the house and then took away the gold. Because the thieves are also very smart. They don't simply come, try to search everywhere. They will take time. They come with the right instrument. Right instrument. An instrument that not only detect a metal. Usually you go flying in an aeroplane, they will try to see if you got any metal, weapon. But these people, not just metal, they only want to detect gold, nothing else. They come with a gold detector and take away. They are also smart. This also happens. So therefore, it is important to have this clear understanding. Yeah. So here you see, so that jnana, then of course jnana with respect to Lord Hari. So that is the perfect knowledge. So he had. Then the next verse is also part of this one. So briefly discuss those qualities. I hope it is clear that we can understand aim of life, understand Krishna, understand this world. So this is what the first 43. Then the 44, it says, Sarga Stitiha Apaya Veshaha. So the devotee knows who is the creator, who is the maintainer, and who is the annihilator. So this is what we, of course, see. This comes to avatar. So Lord Krishna can do all of this, of course. He doesn't have to do that. Just by mere glance, he can do all of this. But for that purpose, certain time, he will send his avatars, incarnations. In avatars, we have got many types of avatars, starting with Purusha Avatara. Correct? Purusha Avatara, Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Chirodakshana Vishnu. Correct? From Mahavishnu appears millions of billions of universes. Then again Vishnu goes into that universe, Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Then of course inside he creates first Brahma. Then Brahma creates so many living entities. So he created us. But we need to also have some power and energy. So therefore Supreme Lord himself has come. Otherwise nothing. If Paramatma leaves, this body is useless. Correct? So the moment Paramatma leaves, we as a soul, we go with it, also leave. So therefore what is the body? Body will fall down. The moment body is fall down, nobody wants that body. Correct? Immediately they said, discard it as quickly as possible. Burn it, throw it, whatever you want to do. But as quickly as possible. They won't keep it for a long time. Correct? Maybe 1 day or 2 days. If you're a famous person, let other people come and pay some respect to you. Correct? If you're a prime minister, they'll put it there in one place, then ask you to come and see. Yeah, otherwise, finished. Anyway, so this Purusha Avatara, then Leela Avataras, then of course we have Guna Avataras, we have Manmantra Avataras, Yuga Avataras, Shakti Avataras. Now this creation creation, maintenance and annihilation. Who does? For this also Lord has to come. That is what we call Gunavataras. So in modes of material, avatara. So avatara to represent each. So this guna in this material world, Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. So Lord himself incarnates and takes these qualities. So as Vishnu to take care of maintenance, Brahma to take care of creation, and then of course Lord Shiva to take care of annihilation. Because this world is temporary. Why we need Shiva? Because this world is temporary. When its duration is finished, Shiva Tandava. Correct? Annihilation. So Shiva Tandava can be very fiery. Correct? Then of course the living entity has to be created and placed according to their karma. Right? Creation and placement. Once you create, you have to place it somewhere. Okay, this living entity is created. So best place for him is to appear in Australia, become Australian citizen by birth. Correct? Oh, this person is created. Let him be placed in some other country because he is not exhibiting full qualities to be Australian citizen. Put him in somewhere else. Okay, let him work hard. Then some effort he can come back here. Correct? That's how we become naturalized citizens. These are reasons. Anyway, that's Brahma does, that creation. So these are guna avatars. Avatars of Lord Krishna with certain qualities. Okay, that doesn't mean that Shiva is ignorant. Shiva is tamogun. So he is responsible for managing tamogun activities. That doesn't mean that Shiva is in tamogun. We have to be very clear about it. Correct? Shiva is still transcendental quality. 50 transcendental qualities that Supreme Lord has. Something like that Shiva also has. So he is also pure. But he is not a Vishnu, but he is not a Jiva like us. He is not in Tamagun. Sometimes he may behave like Tamagun. Suppose you want to win heart of somebody, a drunkard person. You know, you are very powerful, you might act like a drinking with him. That doesn't mean that you are a drunkard. Correct? Usually Prabhupada gives. A president goes to a prison. A country's prime minister, sometimes they visit prison also to see whether prison is constructed properly or not. Correct? Otherwise people can escape from there. What is the use? You capture a thief with so much of difficulty, put into prison, and they will escape. Simply waste of time and energy investment. But so therefore they will check. So it doesn't mean that prime minister or a president of a country became prisoner. No, it's just like that. So similarly, when Shiva comes, he is not in mode of ignorance. He is still pure. Okay? Similarly, Brahma also. He is not like very passionate like us. Constantly he is chanting Vedic mantras. Brahma, if you see in the picture, in anywhere, they show you Brahma, putting one kamandala inside. Other side he has a small bead. I don't know whether he has 108 beads, but I think his bead, that mala looks smaller. Ours is bigger, longer, 108, but whereas he is smaller. Correct? He is constantly doing it. So for us, maybe we need to be forced to do one, but for him, eternally he is doing Vedic mantra chanting. Correct? So Brahma is not a passionate like us, but his duty is to create. That is what Supreme Lord assigned him. So Krishna can take many avatars, assign the duty. So this is your duty. So he is still there, Krishna. Correct? So this is avatars. So that knowledge is also perfectly there. That is Then guna karmanu vanam. So what is the qualities of transcendental qualities of Supreme Lord? And what are his activities? Those are also very well understood. So if you read Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami, so he has actually studied all the Vedas. From all these Vedas, he extracted qualities that they describe. So the quality of Supreme Lord. So he has extracted 64 transcendental qualities. Whenever you say transcendental, what do we mean by transcendental? We mean behind material qualities. In material we talk about this Rajagun, Sattvagun and Tamagun. Behind those. So we say, so devotee is performing transcendental services. Means his services are beyond this material world. Anyway, so Rupa Goswami has identified 64 qualities. So, so we have all these devotees, pure devotees. Prabhupada says that when we are in Vaikuntha Loka, we have got 28 qualities, perfection, just like Supreme Lord. 28, 26. Yeah? So, actually, he lists, 50 qualities. So, of Supreme Lord. So, magnanimous, for example, one of the quality. So, when we go to Vaikuntha Loka, there also we are very magnanimous. But when we come to this material world, that means those qualities become contaminated. Correct? A pure person thrown into mud easily become sort of little impure. Correct? So mud is covered. So same thing. So he lists 50 qualities. These qualities are usually exhibited by pure devotees. So then of course, then after that, after first 50 qualities, then another 5 more qualities. Furthermore. So those are the qualities exhibited by Shiva and Brahma. Of course, Supreme Lord has all the qualities. But Brahma and Shiva in particular, so they are also, ever fresh. They are also Satchidananda, and then they also have a mystic perfection. Yogeshwara. So we say, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Krishna is a Yogeshwara. He is perfect in all mystic powers. Similarly, Brahma is also perfect. Shiva is also perfect. Otherwise, how can they grant such a boon to you? Correct? They have mystic power. That's why they are able to give it to you. People perform tapas, Shiva tapas, Brahma tapas to get the mystic power. Correct? They are also perfectly mystic power. And Supreme Lord, of course, He is the possessor of everything. So those are extra 5 qualities Shiva and Brahma have. Just like Sadashiva appeared here. So like that. He is Sadashiva. Correct? He was a Shiva, and his Maharaj has transformed into Sadashiva. Shiva in mode of, managing mode of ignorance, but you go back to Vaikuntha Loka, just before you pass into Vaikuntha Loka, you have a Sadashiva Loka in a spiritual beginning, border. Correct? So Sadashiva, that's where deity is. Then coming to Lord Narayana. So Lord Narayana, furthermore, he has another extra 5 more qualities. So among those, for example, so he has inconceivable potency. So then of course, so he is the able to generate innumerable of planets. So all that Shiva can't do, but whereas Lord Narayana can do. So these all are, so Lord Narayana can, one who can attract liberated persons. So those are 6 qualities. Then on top of it, Krishna has got, extra 4 qualities. Yeah. So those are what we call, Leela. Rupa Madhurya, Leela Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, Prema Madhurya. So Leela, perfect in performing Leela's pastimes. And he's the most beautiful, attractive. That is why these millions and billions of gopis are attracted to that person. Not easy. We have struggled to attract one person. Whereas Krishna can attract everyone. One who is the most beautiful can attract. Not only beautiful, sometimes beautiful but egoistic. Nobody want to go that person. Right? Person has to be beautiful plus also kind. Not only that, he has to be highly rich person. Plus he also has to be very powerful person. Plus he has to be renounced. Even though he is so beautiful, wealth, so much of wealth, but he is renounced. Then he becomes even more attractive. So these qualities, Rupa, then Leela. Then of course, when Krishna plays his flute, Venu, even the birds, bees, trees, everybody run towards him. And Krishna can speak all the languages. Kannada, Hindi, Telugu, Marathi, language spoken by birds, language spoken by frogs. He can speak all the languages. Who can speak? Correct? So he knows all the languages. There is one of the qualities, by the way. Yeah, one of the qualities. Then of course, Prema. Prema Madhurya. So the loving affection. Correct? He is not saying, I am Supreme Lord, you be there. No. You can play with me. Correct? So let us play. If I lose, then I can carry you. You see in Krishna's Leela, you hear in, so Krishna is carried, Gopas also. So this kind of quality is possible only for Supreme Lord. Then of course, finally, the last says, so we have powerful worlds, material world, spiritual world, ruled by demons, ruled by devatas. But Lord, by mere glance, He can destroy them. What is that mere glance? There is a time, Kale. So this is Kalena Vaiktasya Mahan. So even though this very powerful powerful like heavenly planet, earthly planet, all the and the people, the devatas, demons, they may be very powerful. But Supreme Lord, just by mere glance, can annihilate them. So that is the last statement is put here. So which is various abodes of demigods and demons, regardless of how materially opulent they are destroyed by the mere direction of the Lord. Lord, just look only. Finished. What is that look? Time. Time is energy of Krishna. Correct? Time is energy. So his time energy will finish everything. So that is why how much opulent you might be the owner of the entire earth, or owner of the entire heavenly planet, or owner of Patala, Sutala. All of these are, Lord can finish it up. Then of course, finally, Prabhupada purport says that Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is Amala Puranam. Amala Purana. So, and of course, he describes all this material world, spiritual world. So, if you pick up, I think, number 5, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, you will see universe inside a 14 planetary system, all described nicely. So, you please read that one. So, that is what just saying one statement here. So, then, of course, finally coming to Amala Purana. Amala Purana. So, it's such a purifying Purana, nectarian Purana. When you hear, it's nectarian. So, this is nicely not only explained earlier, the previous cantos, but if you go to canto number 12, so there is a chapter on glories of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So, in describing Kali Yuga, so finally, Sukadeva Goswami coming to the concluding of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, he says, this Śrīmad Bhāgavatam that you are hearing is Amala Purana. One who hears, that person becomes liberated. So you don't have to go and do tapas for 10,000 years on Himalaya. Simply hear Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. You become liberated. That is what Parikshit Maharaj has demonstrated. Simply by hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam for 7 days, he is liberated. So he liberated, he left the body. This Takshaka came and put the fire on him to burn him. He actually burnt his dead body. You got it? So this person is simply hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam so much, without drinking water. See, just for half an hour I am drinking water so many times. Correct? Of course, Prabhu has bought, so I am drinking. Otherwise, I don't have a power to bring the water from there to here. No mystic yoga. But anyway, so, but whereas Parikshit Maharaj has heard this without drinking drop of water, without eating gulab jamun, without eating anything. So simply, completely, day and no sleeping also. Sat completely transference and hearing from Sukadeva Goswami for 7 days. Then the last over, then he left the body, went back to Loka. Then this Takshaka came and burnt. So this is actually just a burnt dead body. Correct? So just like when person died, put it on a fire, then burn. That's all. That's all Takshaka did. Even the other thought that Takshaka killed Parikshit Maharaj actually liberated. So that is somewhere in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam also. So this is a spotless Purana. Of course we know Puranas, 18 Puranas are there. In all these 18 Puranas together, they have got 400,000 verses. There are 18 Puranas, so many Puranas, correct? If you really see it, Brahma Purana, Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana, Shiva Purana. Sometimes people quote, Shiva is the supreme personality of Godhead. Where is it? In Shiva Purana. Correct? And Shiva Purana is meant for whom? It is meant for devotee persons with those tamagunas. See, here we have got Amala Purana. Who will read the Amala Purana? People with Amala qualities. Correct? And who will hear such Purana? Those qualities. Correct? So for everything there is the audience. You go to newspaper, some bookshop, all kinds of books are there. The books that will liberate you. Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam also there in the library. The book that degrade you, also there in the library. Correct? You go to library, you pick up. So person with those quality will pick up transcendental books and become more transcendental. Person with lower quality, they will see how to rob this bank. There are books also. How to enter without other people seeing. Or how to disconnect all this cameras that people have placed. They have all those qualities. Correct? they read all of those and do this problem. Right? So this world is full of literature, all kind of literature. Suya Purana is there. Then of course Bhavishya Purana, we all want to know Bhavishya, what happens to us in the future. What have past also sometimes we want to know. So like that, Garuda Purana, Linga Purana, Brahmananda Purana, Kurma Purana, Matsya Purana, Vamana Purana, Skanda Purana, like this, so many Puranas are there. But here is Bhagavad Purana, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, that only has 18,000 verses, that each verse is Amala. Simply following one verse, repeating, you become liberated. So those are the glories of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So finally, he says, just like you look at rivers, among all the rivers, which is the most pure river? Ganga. Correct? We have got Yara river, Yamuna river, Kaveri river, Kaveri Nadi, Godavari Nadi, Bhima Nadi. Like this, so many rivers are there all over the world. But among all of them, Ganga river is the holiest. Why? Because that water is coming from tip of Vamadev. When it touches the world, water is flowing there. The most pure. Anything coming from Supreme Lord. Correct? His lotus feet is always pure. So that is pure like that. And of course, among all the devatas, and we all pray, the best one is Achyuta, that is Lord Krishna. Similarly, among all the Puranas, all the literatures in the material world, spiritual world, you go and search, and Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is the best. Correct? So that is why Prabhupada is saying that Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is Amala Purana. Not only Prabhupada, of course, before that, the original reciter, Sri Sukadeva Goswami, also said that. Okay, with that, let me stop here. Thank you all for hearing. And you can just to summarize, here Śrīmad Bhāgavatam means you hear Lord Krishna's glories, Vishnu's glories. You also hear glories of devotees. By hearing those, we also attract those qualities. So this way we will be staunch devotees of Krishna in spite of all the trouble that we encounter in life. Correct? As time progresses, so as time progresses, we become very youthful and very energetic. And then of course it progresses, then you reach the highest point, then you start deteriorating. This is the nature of this world. Correct? This is also deterioration. But whereas if you go to Vaikuntha, no deterioration, ever youthful, ever energetic. But here energy will decrease over a period of time. Finally, we come to a point we won't be able to walk also. Even at that time, to be able to remember Supreme Lord is possible only by developing those qualities, or by hearing pastimes of Prahlad and the Narasimha. And then by that, we become liberated. The final verse of this chapter says, anyone who hears the narration of Prahlad and Prahlad Maharaj and Narasimha interaction, conversation, that person becomes liberated. But of course, there is a condition. One who hears with full attention. Correct? Sometimes we are hearing, but it is going from here, coming out from other side. So it should be, attention means you capture it. Capture it as much as possible and keep in your mind. Then, Prahlad has so many qualities. Let me capture some of those and try to practice those in my life. Then you become liberated. Liberated, Nitya Siddha. From Sadhana Siddha to Nitya Siddha. Okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any question? Did you write one? Okay. Please give her... Maybe you can take this.
Thank you for the wonderful class. Prabhu, you mentioned you were talking about devotee association and how important it is. But Prabhu, I sometimes see I learn more from my non-devotee friends at school because they have lots of values, they are very organized. But I see the devotees, they take everything for granted. They don't have many values as the non-devotees. So then why does Prabhupada stress so much on devotee association and he also says that everyone in Krishna consciousness is Guru, so we should learn from a devotee. We should learn a thing from every devotee.
Yes, so they are organized, definitely. So earlier also when Mataji asked me, okay, some persons, they may be not devotees, but they are very well organized. So and they are so much of dedicated. They use their time so wisely. Sometimes, and they are also enthusiastic in their activity. But whereas in devotion, sometimes we are also very enthusiastic, and slowly enthusiasm can come down too. Yeah. So yes, there is something to learn. So the people they may be not devotees, but they are moralists, and they are very strong moralists. They follow those qualities. It is our duty also to develop those qualities, then follow. So this way, in our bhakti path also, we can be staunch. That's what this Prahlad is an example. In spite of challenges he encountered, he was staunch, full faith, not partial. Our faith can be shaken if it is weak. So we have to develop very strong faith. Just like even the Bharat Maharaj we talked about, Jada Bharat. So he, even during when they wanted to chop off his head, even at that time he had so much of faith on Supreme Lord that if Supreme Lord wanted me to sacrifice like this, so be it. So he didn't. So much of faith. Whereas our faith is always weak. So it is very important that we also develop those strong faith, strong qualities, so we can always extract some best qualities from everybody. Those who are not devotees, but they exhibit very good quality in certain areas, we should take those qualities. Truthful, doing their work to the perfection. So we can't be ignorant. If you are making garland, make garland nicely, correct? If you are cleaning temple, clean nicely, correct? So certain qualities we need to attract so that we can become nice devotees. Yeah. Mahatma Prabhu? Or your question is standard?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for a wonderful class. My only comment was when you were telling about Rajsi sacrifice, Lord Krishna killed Shishupal, there was no blood, not a drop of blood came, because otherwise the yagna would have been disturbed. So this is the beauty. Whatever Krishna does so beautifully well, when he kills us also.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
So how do we develop attraction to lotus feet of Supreme Lord? So this is obviously all the Maharajas answered you. So simply by whatever we do, so we do as in service of Krishna. You are already at the lotus feet of one. Or suppose I am in the temple. I am at the temple. We need to ask ourselves. If I am drifting, then again come back. Similarly, am I at lotus feet of Supreme Lord? If I am at lotus feet of Supreme Lord, then my thoughts are always with Him. If my thoughts are always not with Him, that means I am not at the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. Therefore, we come back. So by doing that, obviously, because Supreme Lord, lotus feet is so pure, so we will attract those qualities automatically. Correct? Then of course, if you are going away, once you become pure, if you are running away, Krishna, will hold you. You put here, what is that card? Here? Yeah. So somebody asked Prabhupada, why do we have this? He said, because you are doing Supreme Lord Seva, that sometime you run away, that time Krishna can hold it. Yeah, so that is why we some devotees grow. Correct? Yeah, Vishnu devotees in particular. Anyway, thank you very much. I hope all this made sense. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki.